Hey, this is Mike Mella from Be Like Water, and in this screencast I'm going to show you how to use the underrated, I think, feature of Wygwam called content templates. So Wygwam is, of course, a WYSIWYG editor add-on for the CMS ExpressionEngine. Content templates is actually a feature of CK Editor, which is what Wygwam is built on top of. So it may be available in other WYSIWYG editors, but I use ExpressionEngine pretty much exclusively, and I use Wygwam most of the time. So that's the perspective I'll sort of be coming from in this tutorial. So before I get into how it works, a little bit of backstory. So recently, Ryan Masuga posted a question on Twitter asking the EE community how they let their clients add captioned images in ExpressionEngine. And a lot of people weighed in. Nathan Doyle mentioned that CK Editor actually has a captioned image feature now that just hasn't made its way into Wygwam, and he showed how he was able to put it in there, which is really great. I don't think I would resort to this myself because the content templates method that I use allows me to do captioned images and a whole bunch of other elements that I want to code. So anything I can write code for, I can build into this the content templates button, which I'll show you in a second. Another option that was suggested was DevDemon's channel images, of course. I assume that handles captions. I don't really know. It's been a long time since I used it, but some people mention that. Content elements is another one that lets you add not only captioned images, but anything, it's any element you want to put into the publish screen. You can do that through this. That's a popular one. Blocks is a fairly new one by Brian Burgers, and he actually posted a blog post recently responding to that question, and he shows how you can add captioned images using his add-on. So I recommend you check that out too. And finally, MX Jumper from Max Lazar is another solution I've heard. I know Sean Smith uses this for captioned images. So it's great that there are so many solutions to this problem. EE's flexibility is its greatest asset, and that's fantastic. Here's the problem I have with those suggestions. First of all, they're add-ons. I like to avoid add-ons if I can, and bringing in an add-on just for captioned images seems like overkill. Also, from what I can tell, they all require the client to add the image outside of Wygwam. So they're already used to adding, paragraphs and headings and bullet lists and links in the Wygwam field, but then suddenly, if they want to add a captioned image, they have to go outside and put it in this area that's made up of other field types. Like it's not really intuitive. And finally, it doesn't show the image in context. So it's not going to look the way it will look on the front end, which again, I think that's important for non-technical clients. So let me show you how I have been handling captioned images using the templates button in Wygwam. So here we are on the publish screen with a Wygwam field right here. Let's say I'm a non-technical client, don't know anything about code. I just want to put in my copy into this channel entry. So I'll put some copy in here. Actually, I'll maximize this to make it easier to see. So now I've put this copy in. I've decided I want to put an image right here after the second paragraph. I want it to be floated to the left so the text wraps around it, and I want it to have a caption underneath it. So I can put the cursor where I want it. I usually add a line break as well. Click the templates button up here in the toolbar, and see the first image. The first option I have is image on the left with caption, and that picture looks like pretty much what I want. So I'll click on that. So I've made this placeholder image here. Double click here to add your image, just to make it dead easy for clients. It's really just an image, and when they double click it, they're going to replace it with theirs. So I'll do that. Just opens the regular, browser. So here's my images. I'll pick an image of my dog. I'll just leave it at that size. There he is there, looking very handsome. Change the caption. And there you go. It's as simple as that. So, a couple of clicks and they've got an image with a caption. They know exactly what it's going to look like. If they want to, there's a couple of other options you probably saw in there. If I want it on the right, there's an example of it on the right. Click that and it's over there floated because I have a class assigned to it that puts it on the right, and the Wygwam field is respecting that class because it's watching that style sheet. So let me show you how I built this from sort of a fresh install. Okay, so here we are back at the publish screen, and this instance of Wygwam doesn't have the content templates button in the toolbar yet. So let's add it. So I'll go to fields. There's the Wygwam field. I'm using the basic configuration. This is where you change things like that. Basic. So the templates, content templates button is right there in the toolbar. If you hover over it, it says templates. So drag that up. Now, if I save it just like that, and I go back to publish an entry, you see that it has these default templates that sort of come with it. These templates are next to useless. Like this is a 2-column layout made out of an invisible table, right? Like, what is this, 1998? We might as well put a Java applet in there while we're at it. So these are not very helpful. We're going to replace these templates with my own. So to do that, I'll go back into the basic configuration. Now you need to add an advanced setting to start. The first one is called templates_files, and that's going to show you the path to the file that's generating the templates now. So we're going to edit this file in a minute, but before we do that, there's another setting I really recommend that you add, and that is templates_replace content. So by default, for some reason, when you click on a template, there's this checkbox, replace actual contents, and it's selected. So if you watch this text here that I already have in the field, if I click a template, it replaces everything that's in the field with the template code. I can't think of a single situation in which you'd want that to happen, and I can imagine my clients calling me in a panic saying I clicked a button and all my text disappeared. So if you value your sanity, I would add this setting and switch it to no. And when you do that, that checkbox won't be selected by default, so they can just ignore it. Finally, there's one more thing that's kind of crucial to having the template they add look like it's supposed to look, and that is the style sheet. So Wygwam lets you assign a style sheet to the field itself. So this, all the code in here will respect the rules of that style sheet. So that's crucial for making sure that a captioned image in here looks the same as it will on the front end, or at least more or less. So now I'm going to modify the code in this default file so that it replaces that with my own templates. Now I don't like to modify this file itself. I'm a little afraid it might get overwritten with an update and then I'll lose all my code. Also, I don't like having my code buried deep in the bowels of ExpressionEngine like that. So what I did is I made a copy of this file, renamed it something more meaningful, and I put it in my JavaScripts folder in the root of my site. So that, here it is over here. I called it Wygwam Content Templates. So I'll open up both the default file and my new one so you can see the differences between the two. So this is what the default JS file that generates the templates looks like when you first open it. It's not terribly readable. I like to add line breaks to make mine more readable. So here's what mine looks like. So the first thing you want to probably change is this image path. If you're going to create the thumbnail images that represent each template, or if you want images in the templates like that placeholder image that I had, it will by default look in a folder that's inside the Wygwam theme, inside the CK editor theme. So I've changed this image path to, you know, I put my images in the same JS folder that this file is located in, and then there's a folder within that. So you may want to change that, and following that, it's just a matter of changing the code for the templates and adding or removing any. So each one has a title. There's an image if you want to use one, a description, and then finally is your own code, which you can write whatever code you want, and as many templates as you want. So once you've modified the code in that file, if you've done it the way I have, where you make a copy of it and move it somewhere else, you're going to want to update this path. So I'll update it to reflect the new path and new file that I have. Update that, and if I go back here, drop some content in there. So if I want to do the image, let's go into the templates button, see what, and there's my my templates that I've created. So the beauty of this thing, there's a couple of great things. The first is you can put whatever code you want in here. As you can see, I've got other templates. Maybe they have a sidebar that they tend to use in this channel, and I want to let them drop that in wherever they want. Maybe it's like a testimonial section, and you want to have a pull quote that they can add, you know, every so often in the copy to highlight a line that's in there or something. So anything basically that you can imagine you want your clients to be able to drop in wherever they want, and it's not already an option in the toolbar, consider making it, you know, a content template option in here. And the other great thing about this is once you have that file made, you can move it from site to site and just update it as needed. So that's how I use content templates in Wygwam. Not saying it's a solution to everything, but it's one that I'm happy with right now. So hopefully you found that helpful. If you have any questions or comments, hit me up on Twitter. I'm at Mike Mella. And don't forget to use the EECMS hashtag in case someone in the community wants to weigh in. Thanks for watching.